Back. Welcome back, everyone. Let's just double check that indeed the YouTube stream is now functioning. Let's have a look. Yep. All right. We're here, guys. We're back. Apologies for this awkward start to this Monday, but of course, the YouTube stream just failed to kick on. But we're here. We're live. We're doing it. Welcome one and all to, well, hopefully the most exciting 2 hours in crypto anywhere. We're glad to have our people back. How's everyone doing after, well, kind of an uneventful weekend? I'm sure tension was high amid the, kind of fluctuating market over the weekend. But here we are, 35,600 on Bitcoin, roughly where we left off on Friday. So not a whole lot going on in the markets. Like I said earlier,
if you got scared and shorted into the market, then you probably did right what it wants you to do. So
yeah, can't help but notice what's going on here. Can't help but notice the shorts started piling up at Bitfinex when we were talking about it on Friday. It seems like everybody was piled into a long on Bitfinex according to the long-short ratio. Over the weekend, suddenly Bitfinex flipped heavily bearish. Suddenly, majority of market participants on Bitfinex piled into a short. Is that something you ought to counter trade? We'll, of course, explore all the latest price action and what our analysts think about what's going on in the markets today. All right, another wonderful summer day. Here we are in crypto in June, languishing seemingly in the $35,000 mark after, pretty epic correction in May. But, of course, it's not over yet, but might have been a worthy opportunity to spend some time on vacation. This is a good time to go holidaying, camping, etc. Leave your portfolio behind. Try not to get too bogged down in what could be a consolidating market for weeks more.
It's therapeutic, man. Walking away from the charts for a little bit, that's why I stopped trading the weekends, because I would get too just bogged down into what was happening, and then so many times I came to find out that everything that I was worried about within the weekend just corrected itself, and the market put itself right back where it was at the beginning, and I just stressed for no reason. So I'd rather just go out and live my life and have fun, and then just come back to the charts on Monday, right?
Absolutely. A big part of what I think we try and do here is to free up people. Too much time, too much just sitting at your terminal staring at lower time frame price data when really you should be trading. Should be trading a higher time frame. That's something, especially for newer traders, that's something we advocate, that you do keep focus, or at least build your system around a daily time frame. Try to mitigate how much time you spend, or wasteful time you spend, just looking at lower time frame data, kind of psyching yourself out, shaking yourself. That's the other thing we were discussing actually with our some of the homies in the premium chat over the weekend. Was when someone asked us how often do we look at price data, and one of the main takeaways was a lot of users needlessly check in on the price all too frequently, especially when they already have established a system on the daily, on a higher time frame. All it serves was to shake you out of your position, or have you kind of fiddle with it more than you ought to. Build the system, have your faith in it, and let it ride. If you position size accordingly, if you risk accordingly, I believe
the only way to do it real, man. It's the only way to do it right, because you're never gonna have confidence enough to really fucking let a position stay the way it needs to. If you're over leveraged or if you're overexposed, then you're just going to stress out. You're not going to be able to trade right.
Indeed. All right. Well, you know how this next 2 hours is going to go, guys. We're going to go from the news into the main analysis, where, of course, we cover crypto as well as broader markets, courtesy of lead analyst Alex Pearson. Then we got Jason in here with us as well. Once again, apologies for the awkward start to today's show. The YouTube stream just wouldn't link up, but we're here now. Let's get into the price action. Let's look at my chart here, overview some of the weekend's price action, courtesy of the Kraken Crypto indicators here. We got 3 on board today. Here we are currently looking at $35,600 Bitcoin. Yeah, it's hasn't fared too well. Here we are just hanging on at 35,000, kind of listing away sideways. Minx dipped below the zero again. I guess it was on Friday's close, where we did in fact close right around 35.4, sideways ever since. But nonetheless, we're above the baseline. Not a whole lot more to say here. Ethereum climbing, currently at 27.26. It's finally, the baseline's caught up with all the bearish price action. And Minx is above the zero line, but it's pretty much a sideways affair. Not much really to do here. Gonna wait for a signal, I suppose. Look at EOS. EOS currently at 569. Looking a bit like everything else. Pretty much a sideways affair. Doge. What did Doge do? Well, apparently a whole lot of nothing. Currently at 36 cents.
Did Elon not tweet this weekend?
I think he did. I think I even saw Vitalik tweet back. Maybe.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at that in a bit. But not much to say here on Doge. Here's a look at Link Perp, currently at $27. Yeah, the weekend's price action looking pretty much the same as every other token we've looked at so far. Here's XRP, everybody's favorite stable coin, 93 cents currently. Let's see here, Polkadot, $24 Polkadot, going pretty much sideways, but just at least above its baseline. There's always
There's
that.
nothing to say about the markets today. I'm kind of not looking forward to chart requests, actually.
Oh boy. Well,
Yeah.
well maybe.
It's gonna be one of those days.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll entertain a few requests. Maybe we can cover some other news or information. We'll see. We'll play it casual. If we're not in the total mood to kind of rehash the same damn chart pattern across all markets, maybe we can switch it up, change it out. Call a little early. We'll find out. We'll play it by ear today. $419 Kusama. Still above its baseline, and yeah, seemingly one of the stronger trending coins in this market, but the last 3 days, mostly sideways affair. Matic at $1.61, and indeed, everything looks about the same. Here's BNB. BNB kind of poked its head out above the baseline late last week, and we've been sideways ever since. Not much really to say here on the BNB. The Uni token looking a bit like the BNB, up at $26. Here we go. Got a little life from this DFI token.
You still got a little bit of that, don't you?
Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, actually.
Doesn't look too bad. Just it's climbing now, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a look at DFI, but here's Cardano. What's Cardano up to? $1.68, of
And I
course.
see an inverse head and shoulders on DFI, too.
See an inverse head and shoulders on DFI. All right. Well, there you go, guys. GME stock pumping once again today, currently at $281. Seemingly, there, as activity and volatility wanes in crypto. Apparently, the GME saga still continues. Let's have a look. Yep, AMC doing something similar. AMC, after that wicked bit of volatility late last week, pumping again today on the Monday open. Currently up, let's see here, what kind of price action we see? Up 12% today. AMC currently at $58. All right, there's a quick look. Here's Stellar, not much to say there, but Bitcoin still hanging out at 35.6. There's your quick market overview of the latest price action. If you missed anything over the weekend, well, you didn't miss a whole lot, apparently. Let's get into the bubbles. What's going on in bubbles land today? All right. Well, seems like mostly single-digit losers, small pullbacks across most of the alt space, but a few outliers here that are all deep in the green. You got this Airweave token up 25% today. And you got TFUEL, THETA, and TFUEL continuing their run, but TFUEL in particular has been a runner in the last few weeks. Here it is, up 20% today.
Shout out to anyone who hung on to that MTL trade that I was in forever. Finally popped today.
Wow. What time frame did you take that trade on?
It's always the daily, but I've been in it for almost a month, man.
So it never it's
just gone sideways the whole time.
Wow. Well, shoutouts to anybody sticking out in the MTL trade that Jason posted, nearly a month ago. Finally came through.
Time she takes time.
Yeah, it did take some time. Impressive. Yeah, THETA is up nearly 10%. Digibyte, yes, Digibyte is here too. Digibyte's up nearly 6% on the day. And a couple other small gainers in the space as well. We have the likes of Filecoin. Yep, Filecoin's up a couple points. Nexo, Uni, Aave, PancakeSwap token, ALGO, and Tezos. Tezos was up a little more earlier today. It's currently up 6%, just under 6%.
There was a lot of stuff up overnight, but now everything's back down.
Yeah.
Kind of popped there for
Traditional markets are driving everything down right now, if you look.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear Alex's overview on traditionals, see if there's what's going on with the Dixie commodities, see if there's any kind of any interesting observations he has to share. All right, there is your look at Bubble, everyone. What are we diving into next? All right, let's get into the news. All right, well, maybe you heard about this by now. If not, you surely will soon. Everyone's favorite headline maker, Trump. That's right, Trump calls Bitcoin a scam and advocates for dollar hegemony. Former U.S. President Donald Trump is still not a fan of Bitcoin, calling it a scam while stating that the dollar should remain the currency of the world.
Famed economist Donald Trump gives his opinion on something.
Yeah, just say fucking notorious idiot gives his opinion.
Indeed, but of course this is making waves today. But let's have a look here. So yeah, he appeared on Fox. All right, my mistake. Earlier I said CNBC. He appears on Fox Business on Monday. Former president remarked, quote, yes, earlier today, quote, Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam. I don't like it because it's just another currency competing against the dollar. Essentially, it's a currency competing against the dollar. I want the dollar to be the currency of the world. That's what I've always said. All right.
No. He says, no, the dollar needs to be the scam of the world. Bitcoin's a different scam. We don't like that scam.
Yeah, get involved in my Ponzi, bitch.
Because, I mean, he didn't actually make an argument that it's a scam. He made an argument that it's competing against the dollar. And then he just called it a scam.
And I also like that he says it seems like a scam. Like, that's an idiot.
Seems like a scam to me.
Yeah,
total scam.
Fucking.
I wish I could
sell some Mary Kay or something. I don't know.
I mean, I wish I could do a good Donald Trump impression, because maybe reading that quote would have been a little funnier. But yeah, Trump's comments are in line with his previously espoused views on Bitcoin. Indeed, back in July 2019, when in office, Trump stated that he was not a fan of Bitcoin and crypto. At the time, Trump identified price volatility as a major point of his anti-crypto stance, while stating that cryptocurrencies were not money and their value was based on thin air. All right, well, you know, about what you'd expect from a boomer and their take on crypto in general. Nothing too new here. Of course, you know, the Biden admin isn't that much friendlier with crypto, especially now. We've got another, of course, story coming up, and it relates, of course, to ransomware attacks. This could be a shifting narrative, thanks to some of the headaches introduced with all these ransomware attacks. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's see here. We already covered Trump, and here's a little something about MicroStrategy. Their stock slides after announcing a $400 million debt raise to buy more Bitcoin. Let's see here. Apparently, the company's stock has dropped more than 60% after topping out around $1,100 early February. Lackluster balance sheet, excessive debt load, and over-leveraged exposure to Bitcoin have crashed MicroStrategy stock by more than 63% since February already. Nevertheless, the business intelligence company has ignored the risks of the frothy valuations and now wants to raise more debt and buy Bitcoin with these proceeds. MicroStrategy announced on June 7th, that's today, that it intends to raise $400 million aggregate principal amount of senior secured notes in a private offering to acquire additional Bitcoins. The company already holds more than 92,000 BTC, worth about $3.3 billion at the current exchange rate, almost 1.5x its principal investment. Let's see here. So, of course, they plunged another 2% today following this news, yada, yada, yada. Let's see here. In other statements, MicroStrategy claimed that it's building up its Bitcoin portfolio as an insurance policy against continuing devaluation of the world's major currencies. But with its back-to-back Bitcoin purchases, the company has effectively protected itself from more than just a US dollar decline. Unprofitable business lines as well. Okay, wonder what they mean by that. Let's see here. Look at MicroStrategy's alternative asset holdings show that the company is overly skewed toward Bitcoin, with real estate accounting for less than 0.2% of total investments. The last quarterly report shows weaker balance sheet, blah, 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 blah. Basically, if there's a lesson in all this, maybe don't put all your eggs in the Bitcoin basket. Real estate, property market is absolutely on fire right now. You might not want to be missing some of that action right now either. Let's see here. One other analyst here chiming in saying it's simply too risky. You could lose it all. I'd rather not take that chance. Yes, I guess some investors are passing on MicroStrategy today on account of all this. But if you're a believer in Bitcoin like MicroStrategy is, potentially they will get the last laugh. Given enough time. Yes. All right. Let's have a look.
Come back in 2 months, and I bet you're like, "Wow, what a brilliant idea!"
Well, so I guess they're raising $400 million to buy the dip. I'm not sure if I can afford to raise that much. But let's call it $40. What's $40? Let's throw another 40 in the pot for Bitcoin. It ain't 400 million, but it's something. Let's keep averaging it. FTC consumers lose $82 million to crypto scams in the last 6 months alone. According to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, consumers lost $82 million to crypto scams. While crypto prices rise, the amount lost to crypto scams keeps growing. Consumers reported a loss of nearly $82 million to crypto scams between October 2020 and March 2021. A lot of rugs got pulled over this last bull cycle, did they not? Were you one of the unfortunate ones? I'm lucky. I mostly came away unscathed. I don't think I got wrecked on too many coins in the last while. What was that one we covered just a couple weeks ago? The ones where not only did they exit, they left some message behind saying, haha, we took your money and you're never going to get us. That's how blatant it got. But of course, FTC says that 82 million in losses reported. It could likely be much, much higher. This is merely what was reported. Yep, you can imagine. Not only did people get wrecked with the big fat correction we saw, there's also probably a great deal of money that got siphoned up by rug pulls and other scams. So, of course, what we like to do here at CC, and that's advise everyone to be extremely careful. We hate to hear people losing money, most of all to scams. Bad trades is one thing, but scams is another. Shit tokens that get rugs pulled on a Uniswap. You want to avoid that, guys. Always do your due diligence. The story is a testament to just how much money can get fleeced from unsuspecting investors, or maybe it's greedy market participants, whatever you call it. It is a warning. Be careful out there. Stack your sats and cold storage for life. But Let's get into the next item here. All right, MicroStrategy, we covered this.
We gotta get sponsored by Trezor or something.
Yeah, maybe a Square with
There you go.
with Jack Dorsey Square.
They're making a new wallet.
Making a new hardware wallet. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see here. According to this one hedge fund, which manages about $7.5 billion, the price of gold will hit fresh highs next year, but investors might still be better off gaining exposure to Bitcoin instead of gold, as there's more upside in holding the crypto. So apparently, the co-chief investment officer and senior portfolio manager at the Skybridge Capital by the name of Troy Gajewski, a hedge fund with $7.5 billion, as I mentioned. He says their fund is going to maintain exposure to the flagship crypto in the near future. He was quoted saying, "We're going to stick with Bitcoin and crypto because we just think there's so much more upside." He added that while Bitcoin's more volatile, investors are going to capture a little bit more juice with Bitcoin than they would in gold from the same phenomenon. Investors have often compared Bitcoin to gold, with former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers saying cryptocurrencies could stay a feature of global markets akin to digital gold. Of course, monetary policy around the world is driving some of this narrative, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. You have, you have several different pundits and talking heads appearing on the main shows this Monday. You have Trump taking shots, and then you have $7 billion portfolio managers making their appearance and saying, "Dear boomer audience of Fox News," or in this case, where was it? CNBC? It was Bloomberg. Yes, "Dear boomer audience watching the Bloomberg News channel, don't go scooping up too much gold just now. You might have more upside opportunity with Bitcoin. At least this portfolio manager seems to think so." Always nice to have some moon juice flowing on a Monday.
Moon juice.
All right. Anybody wondering what's going on at Grayscale? Grayscale holds Bitcoin tight despite the outflows amid the massive correction. All right.
What else are they gonna fucking do with it?
Yeah, right? We're done now.
It's not like, yeah. It's not like they're not like an active management fund.
Yeah, it's like the latest check-in with them. Like it's still nothing to talk about, guys. Like they're gonna hold.
They are, but I do think they have clients that are invested in clients that can opt to sell or pull out. And in this case, data shows that Grayscale BTC holdings have dropped from 655,000 Bitcoin to 652,000 Bitcoin. Investor outflows, which have been frequent due to the price of the flagship crypto declining. Since then, Bitcoin's lost, blah, 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 blah. All right, so there's really not much to this except for the fact, yes, they're holding steady, about 3,000 less Bitcoin to show for the aftermath. Stablecoins need the same regulation as banks do, says the BOE. The Bank of England said that stablecoin payments should be regulated in the same way as payments handled by banks. So that's it, guys. Your crypto payment rails are now defunct. Please proceed to your nearest traditional fiat payment rail system, and please dispose of any crypto you may have left, says the BOE. The stablecoin payment should fall under the same regulation handled by most banks. BOE said that hasn't made any decision yet as to whether or not to issue its own CBDC. The prospect, this is a quote, "the prospect of stablecoins as a means of payment and emerging propositions of CBDCs have generated a host of issues," Andrew Bailey, governor of the BOE, told Reuters today. It's essential that we ask the difficult and pertinent questions when it comes to the future of these new forms of digital money. That's right, guys. We cannot, it's one thing when you release the digital gold Bitcoin that's, wholly impractical as a fiat competitor. It's a whole other kettle of fish when you release stablecoins that directly compete with their fiat. and that's where the objections from the big bankers come in. All right, this article just covers more or less how stable coins work and blah, 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 blah. All right, let's get into the next one. Just to let you know what's on the mind of central bankers everywhere, the thorn in their side isn't quite Bitcoin, much like what Donald Trump would have to say. It's in fact these stable coins that threaten everything. And, if you have one example, it'll be Facebook's DM, or what was it originally
Libra.
called? Libra, yes, the Libra, now known as DM. Just to show you what a reaction they had to that.
You completely reinvented it.
All right, finally, and here we go. We're going to be wrapping this up and getting to the next segment. Although we're doing great on time despite today's late start. Square, that's right, Square. We were just talking about them. Teams up with Blockstream for a solar-powered Bitcoin mining farm. Yeah, I mean, this might just be a token gesture from the two, but they need something to help push back even marginally against all this energy FUD. In this case, Square's teaming up with Blockstream to launch a solar mining farm, or Bitcoin-powered solar mining farm. Solar-powered Bitcoin mining farm, I guess would be the correct syntax there. Square has previously argued how Bitcoin could pave the way to a greener financial future. Jack Dorsey's payment companies teaming up with Blockstream, the company, of course, famously behind Liquid Network and Bitcoin development. Square sponsoring a solar-powered mining project at a Blockstream mining facility in the U.S. It's announced at the 2021 Bitcoin conference in Miami on Saturday. That's right, that was just this weekend. Square plans to create a public dashboard for the farm, which will serve as a transparency case study for Bitcoin mining and renewable energy. And let's see here, the quote goes, "As we continue to explore the synergies between the two, we're excited to share an ongoing learnings and real-world data points," Square tweeted on the 5th. The project will form part of the company's wider Bitcoin Clean Energy Initiative. Wow.
Nice. We're exploring synergies. This is good.
Yeah, clean energy, synergies between major tech players. What's not to like? Maybe given enough time, enough minor exodus from China, we could, maybe turn this narrative around, or at the very least correct a lot of misconceptions when it comes to Bitcoin
if they're
mining.
exploring synergies, that means corporate's happy.
There you go. Yes,
Yeah.
these are the buzzwords corporate wants. All right, so finally, what do we have left? Do you guys, I don't know if you heard about this over the weekend. El Salvador announced that Bitcoin will be considered legal tender. So this was a small note in Bitcoin's history. Yes,
I consider this bad news.
You think so? All right. Well,
I do think it's bad news,
bad
don't you?
news. Well, a bit. I mean, it's clearly probably doesn't bode well for the nation of Paraguay if this is the kind of, it seems kind of a desperate move, I suppose.
Well,
of course, this.
It's a bad note. It's bad news for Bitcoin. It's bad news for us. So, the president of El Salvador is an authoritarian who's actively usurping power by displacing elected officials. So, Bitcoin is already widely used in El Salvador. And by attempting to legitimize it legally and add it to the country's reserves, what they're really trying to do is they're trying to get around the US dollar and Western sanctions. Now, another country using Bitcoin to evade Western sanctions is going to draw even more regulatory scrutiny towards Bitcoin.
As well as the domino effect on other countries following suit.
Yeah, another Venezuela situation, it seems, in that case. Now, of course, Paraguay. Paraguay might be the next nation to announce a big project involving the flagship crypto. But indeed, Alex, your take is accurate. Indeed, it could very well bring the heat down on the crypto and on Bitcoin. Just what we need: more talk of evil Axis powers utilizing the Bitcoin to avoid sanctions. You're right, plenty of negative implications in there, but nonetheless, for many Bitcoin champions, This was at least a half-decent headline. So, as this article describes, Paraguay could very well be the next South American nation to do the same. So, Ace didn't seem to do much to buoy the price of Bitcoin over the weekend, though. And finally, final story, guys, and we're going to get into the next segment. Crypto's dark underbelly exposed in ransomware attack. A U.S. senator says, here we go, guys, just what we need. And this is something I've been voicing my opinion about. How all this ransomware is just going to put us on somebody's shit list somewhere. And in this case, U.S. lawmakers have deliberated on the prospect of banning cryptocurrencies as a solution to the ransomware attacks that have befallen U.S. institutions in the past month. And opinions appear to be mixed. The largest fuel pipeline in America was, of course, brought to a halt early May when hackers infected the computer networks of Colonial Pipeline. And now food packing company JBS was hit with a similar attack. Colonial Pipeline has since paid a reported $4.4 million in the ransom. Something interesting I actually learned about the Colonial Pipeline attack. And again, I'm not sure how true this is, but apparently the attack did not affect any infrastructure whatsoever. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, the pipeline attack. It affected the billing systems,
Exactly.
And because the gas companies couldn't bill people properly, they're like, "Nuh-uh, we're just not going to give anybody any gas."
Yeah, and you'd think there could have been a slightly less damaging alternative, but I guess if they can't get theirs, if the account, I would figured you could even do some old school manual accounting method, but indeed it didn't affect that, and I guess they decided as a result to shut everything down.
Yeah, you could have written it down on pieces of paper or something. Like they could have figured out a different way to do the billing, but it would have been complicated, and so they just didn't.
Yeah,
An IOU.
Some kind of grace period, covered losses covered by the government as an emergency, intervention, something, I guess. But in this case, let's get back to this. Senator Mark Warner addressed the matter during NBC's News's Meet the Press on Sunday, where it was put to him by reporter Chuck Todd that banning crypto entirely could curb the growing trend where cyber attackers demand ransom in Bitcoin and other crypto. Warner disagreed that crypto should be...
They'll demand ransom in crypto and we won't be able to pay it.
Yeah, right. Warner disagreed that crypto should be banned entirely, adding that good things had come out of distributed ledger technology, but its dark underbelly was now being exposed. He stated, quote, "I've got a lot of questions about crypto. There were some good things coming out of distributed ledger, but we are now seeing some of the dark underbelly, and that's why I'm focusing more on transparency," he said. Warner claimed that certain crypto systems could already be breached by authorities if they so desired. However, he said stopping the technology would simply redirect criminals toward different technologies. The truth is, quote, "There are always ways that we can break through some of these systems, but if there's not some transparency of that payment, the bad guys will simply find another way to hide it." Senator Roy Blunt suggested crypto should be left to run behind the scenes of criminal activities, or should it, be left to run behind the scenes of criminal activities, arguing that crypto had become the main tool of ransomware attackers owing to its untraceable nature and ease of use. Well, not quite untraceable, not quite easy to use, but there you go, guys. Just goes to show you that the more these hackers and ransomware artists con major industries, they're gonna bring the heat down on us. So I beg you, dear Russian hackers or wherever they hail from, please knock it off. Go hack Disney Plus or something. Don't bring yourself down on essential infrastructure. All right, guys, there is your news wrap up for today. Let's get in to the live chat. Let's see who's kicking it with us today. All right, switching over to the live chat. Let's expand this window down a touch. See who's kicking it here on this Monday afternoon. David Rice, as far as I can tell, you're first in the live chat today on the D Live. Shoutouts to Rice. He says it's a great day for a hangover. Roll one up. Yes.
That's why you don't get hungover, man.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's got the old school home remedy for a hangover. Roll one up. Yes, I mean, I guess that helps with the nausea or something, but I recommend drinking lots of water, pop a few Tylenols, you're good to go in the morning. Mr. H on the YouTube says first. Well, you're somewhat first. You're first to YouTube, so shoutouts to Mr. H. Rhino TD claiming first status, definitely not first Rhino TD, but shoutouts to you nonetheless. The Splashy85 on Twitch, good evening. Good evening to you, my man. Alex1233, good evening. Electric, hello everyone. Crypto Husao, good morning CC. Lots of sideways movement this weekend up to today. Let's hope that A and J can read something out of it. Thanks, guys. Yes, let's hope our boys A and J, the A
and J.
Yes,
like
A and J. All right, Little Dirt or Lyle Dirt, Lily Dirt, 1976 is with us on YouTube. Shoutouts to you. ANCAP Futures is with us on YouTube as well. Shoutouts to you, my man. Let's see here. Waiting to click on the stopwatch, says Crypto Bull. Well, thank you, Crypto Bull, for the time stamping. Sorry for the funky start. Let's have a look here. We mentioned Alan. Here's Blackbird 1987. Welcome, welcome. Mr. Ether, Robert Warner, you were live. Yes, we were live, but I fixed it. Now we're properly live. Tyler Dukacek, Grits. Yes, Joe Mama's in the chat. Good stuff. Dark Rico. Hello, everyone. Shoutouts to Mr. Rico. Very good to see you again, my man. Crypto Husao. If we mention Justin Sun and we get kicked out of DLive, yes, you can't. You talk shit about Elon, they ban you from YouTube. If you talk shit about Justin Sun, you might wake up and your lemon stash is all gone. Confiscate. I thought this was a decentralized cryptocurrency, free from confiscation. Apparently not. Justin Sun gets the last laugh. All our lemons were teethed because we talked shit about Justin Sun on Friday. Let's have a look here. Crypto York joins us. Guardian on DLive. Hi guys. Shoutouts to Guardian. Let's have a look. Alex81SG already mentioned. Or maybe I did it. It was the other Alex. Can you look at Fear? Well, we certainly will. Hang tight, Alex. We will add those to the request line in just a little bit. I see your request, Mr. Bull. Electric BRB, gonna find some obscure garbage coin to ask about. Yes, that's very popular here to drudge up some of the biggest stinkers on Uniswap, or not even on Uniswap. Dave Rice, that fun electric. Yes, the fun token doing things today, is it? Let's have a look here. Anyone got a good pot stock pick? Yes, remember when pot stocks were trending super hard? There was a point a couple years ago.
In Canada.
It was the Canadian MJ market went to bonkers. So many people that I know were like, went
high
boom and bust, based on picking pot stocks. Didn't work out too good for them. SNDL. I'm not sure what SNDL is. Oh, that's the spot stock recommendation from Alex. Oh, all right. We'll take a look at it. Someone mentioning a long signal in the Dixie. Trump is no Elon. Nobody gives a crap about what Trump has to say. Here. Trump's only bullish on one thing, the dollar. I mean, he doesn't even need to be a cheerleader for the dollar. He's done. He's out. Get out of here. I mean, I'm tired of this guy. He's got to go. No more rallies. No 2024 run. No more sounding off. Trump, shut it down. Get out. Let's get somebody else in. Blackbird 987. Don't get scammed by Bitcoin. Yes, that's decent advice. Let's have a look here. In my mind, MF is with us today. Good to see you. And all right, is this about everybody? Mr. Ether says, invert the BTC chart and tell me we aren't headed towards 100K. Mr. Ether, I'm with you. I want to be super bullish on BTC as well. Crypto Caveman, hey, what's going on, boys? How are you? Shoutouts to Crypto Caveman. We're doing good. Chili Lime over on Twitch writes DeFi 100, I think was that one. All right, not sure what DeFi 100 is. That a project or is that an index? Is that an index of DeFi projects? We'll take a look. Kryptonian, we need to make instant cassettes a reality, taken from the movie Spaceballs. Yeah, I remember Spaceballs, but I don't remember instant cassettes. It's been such a long time since.
Right,
surrounded by assholes.
It's such a long time since I've seen that. Maybe add that
One
to
of
the movie
one of
night
my
list.
favorite scenes is like, comb the desert. You found anything? They ain't found shit. They just got a big pick.
Yeah, that I remember. That was funny. Let's have a look. DNS hack, not a real scam. I think you're referring to the Colonial Pipeline thing. Not too sure. Kryptonian, the way we could fast forward to when Bitcoin breaks out. Yes, now I remember what you mean by instant cassettes. Yes, I think I remember that part of the movie now. Yes, I wish I could just fast forward back to the next bull market, but alas, we're gonna have probably a little bit of a reprieve and consolidation period. Enjoy your summer. In the meantime, let's see here. You could amazing prime some weed. Yes, or Amazon prime some weed is what ANCAP Futures meant to say. You know what? That is genius. How long until you can start selling dope on Amazon?
That's my
prime me next.
one of my
I'm
favorite.
one of those people that calls weed dope.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Mitch Hedberg jokes was he's like, I like the UPS man because he's a drug dealer and don't know it.
Yeah, that would be the day. The pre-rolls get to you next day from Amazon. Let's look forward to it. Crypto
Your personal dope drone.
Right. I hope it inserts it in my lips and lights it while it has like this deployable lighter attachment that can spark the thing for you too.
Also has a flashlight attachment. Don't worry about it.
That's a separate service. You're gonna have to pay extra for that. Stable coin for buying cannabis. Is it out there yet? Asked Crypto Husao. Man, do you remember all the pot coins from like the 16, 17 era?
Oh yeah.
There were so many.
Yeah. There was, before the current iteration of wax, there was a weed wax token. And when people were talking about that new NFT wax token, I originally thought they were talking about that old weed token.
Hilarious.
Bringing it back from the dips.
That was an idea. Let's create a token that you can walk into any dispensary with and buy your chronic.
I remember one was you could trade the coin for seeds. It wasn't like weed. It was for like pot seeds.
I see. Who grows with seeds anyway? You got to get clones. Let's have a look here. Let's see here. Drone dropped in 2 hours or less. I would with that. All right, Crypto Bull says, despite the higher prices on Amazon, if the drone could deliver you your bag, get you your chronic within 2 hours, he would be sold. Yes, it's time for Amazon to revolutionize the drone delivered chronic. Let's have a look here.
Amazon already knows where you are at all times anyway.
Got that chronic. What calls a non?
Yeah, if you get the Apple Watch, they'll know when your THC levels bottom out and when to alert you to spark another one. Of course, most people in here probably don't need a reminder for that. Splashy85 on Twitch writes, I lost 80% of my 2K investment with Smart Trade Coin investment. Okay.
I'm sorry for your loss, but it probably should have been a giveaway that it was not a smart trade when smart trade was in the name.
Yeah, when it's called smart trade.
Yeah.
Well, what are you trying to say?
It's called definitely you won't lose money token. You're probably going to lose money, I would say.
What are you trying to say? Safe Moon isn't going to safely land me on the moon with gains? Are you trying to...
I could, but probably not.
All right. Well,
scam coins pump the hardest sometimes.
Seemingly, yes. All right. Are we at the bottom of the chat yet? Not quite, but I do have to get a move on, so apologies I couldn't get to every last request, guys. Shoutouts to Any Word, though I do see Any Word in the chat. Tommy888 saying, have a nice stream. Thank you, Mr. Tommy. Don Verelst in the YouTube chat with us as well. Rick G joins us on YouTube. Dave Rice is here. Sleepy Random. I haven't heard of that token, Sleepy Random. It's on Pancake Squad. Okay, very, very odd tokens, but
I think token's real.
I'm not sure if it's real. Would you speak with the developer of this particular token? No, sure. I don't think I would. I'm not sure if I would. but sounds like he's just trolling, or it's a meme token, and there really isn't much to explore on that front.
That's kind of what's shitty about it, is it's hard to know if they're joking or not because things are so ridiculous. Like, hey, could you tell me how come Rocket's doing? And that's a real sentence. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah, we're hitting some absurdity levels here
It's silly.
unseen before in
I don't know
crypto.
if the token is real, but if the devs are real and they want to talk to us, by golly, we'll talk to them.
It started as innocent fun. They gave you the Doge token, and now we're
They just
dealing.
added E to Doge.
Yes.
Doge was just the gateway drug.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
All right, here we go. I've connected to Alex's stream. Alex, you are officially on screen. And let's take a look here. Gonna adjust a few things on screen, but Alex, you've currently got the BTC CME futures on here. Perfect. I'm gonna dive into the chat, start collecting everyone's requests, and let Alex take you through the next segment. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, so I last week we were really hoping for a bounce up into bounce up into the 40s, maybe even 50K on Bitcoin, and everything else was maybe going to rise with it, but things look kind of rough today. So I like to start with CME on Mondays because it's closed over the weekend, and usually causes some sort of gap if there has been a lot of price action, which we didn't get much over the weekend. But we did gap down just a little bit on open last night, which we made up overnight. As you can see, we traded up and made a wick, and now we're back down. So the gap is already closed, and CME will be giving us a continuation short signal. See, still below the daily baseline. CME treating us very nicely here with the baseline. As you can see, we kind of get screwed these 3 times, but then after those 3 times, we're still below the baseline here. It's kind of nice.
Just remember that 3 number. It usually comes in 3s.
What was that?
I said, just remember the number 3. Like, usually when you're dealing with a change in the market dynamic, it usually is 3. Like, you get 3 dips to the upside, and then all of a sudden you start coming back down. But yeah, the hole has done us very kindly on the daily here.
Yeah. WADA coming in too. WADA starting to give a fresh signal right now. So it doesn't look fantastic. On lower time frames here,
Damn.
we're starting to break below the trend line here. And I gotta say, it certainly looks rough. We're crossed down here on the 3-hour and probably 4-hour too. 4-hour giving kind of a stronger signal. I would call this in the 3-hour.
It does not look strong.
Yeah. So the 4-hour is, if I use the system for the 4-hour, this would be giving us a continuation short signal. Certainly we can see with it being below the baseline and with our oscillator giving us an exit signal, it looks pretty rough right here. Ethereum has been stronger, but is still just hanging out at resistance. We haven't gotten a new high. Our resistance level has been here this entire time. There's resistance here, resistance right now. We're still not above the daily baseline. 4-hour exit signal here, along with the exit signal that we're getting on Bitcoin on the 4-hour. Now, I know a lot of people are looking at this ascending triangle. I'll draw this just a little better. 1 second. A lot of people are looking at this ascending triangle. And hey, if we break up, great. That gives us a good target to use. But for right now, it kind of looks like we're about to break down out of this ascending triangle, which would probably take us right back down here towards the lows.
Definitely. Kind of a make or break moment. Bitcoin
dominance, more or less trading sideways. I've heard some people suggest that this is bearish, that we're heading to new lows, but I don't really see it. To me, this is clearly bottoming behavior still on Bitcoin dominance. I expect alts are likely to lose value to Bitcoin over the coming weeks, and we'll maybe return to the average, maybe just 50%. Maybe 50%. We'll get like half alts, half Bitcoin, come up towards our average. Kind of wondering if we're even going to make it up to this resistance level, because we don't seem to be able to make it above this one that we've been eyeing. The point of control right here. If this area breaks, I'd be looking for a retest of down here. Really? Well, Alex of the past is looking at this point of control. Maybe. Maybe that's what we'll get for all the markets. Just boom, come all the way down here and retest the top of this trading range as support. How big a drop is that?
Enough to party.
At top of the trading range. Ugh. Another 60%.
Yeah.
I hope not. Maybe just retest the lows. Maybe we'll just come down in this area. This is a pretty strong low volume node right here. This is kind of what they would call jumping the gap, or maybe it's jumping the creek in Wyckofian terms. Does make a lot of sense. Anyway, all the alts look like this right now. All the alt perp contracts. Privacy perp actually looks a little worse than the others. You can see it's just slowly losing momentum upwards here. We still have, this is a new candle, so we still have a week to fill this out, but I imagine we're likely to just continue to push up before rejecting.
Dead cat bounce.
I don't see anything special here. And look at all the sellers. Sellers are eager here compared to buyers. Let's lean into it. Cross below, weekly baseline here. Not fantastic. All right, so earlier I mentioned the traditional markets were looking rough. What is it that I meant?
Tell us, Alex.
Well, it's not the dollar rising, because the dollar is down today. This is traditionally good for us, although it's not really translating to crypto going up at the moment.
Not today.
Yeah, but the dollar is still at support. So this is not an active headwind against us. But if you take a look at the Dow Jones, this is not great looking. So we gap up just a little bit this morning on open and just trade straight down today.
Oh yeah, super sold into.
So here you go. Here's where we opened this morning. Right up here. Sell, sell, sell. Oh wait, maybe buy. No, sell it.
Sell it again.
No, you gotta sell. So I think this looks pretty rough on the daily. We're getting an exit signal right here. If we get, if all we get this week is follow through, then this is going to be a super ugly candle.
No, it's going to be just the death of the economy.
On the NASDAQ, interestingly, we have a continuation signal because of Friday. But today, all we've done is just trade sideways. So this was Friday, And then today we opened up right here, and we just stayed right here. I'm hoping we could see some upside. GME and AMC give me hope. I mentioned that on Friday. Like if those two stocks can keep going, then maybe everything else can too. But
maybe it's a little headwind.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look good here. This is S&P.
Yeah, you're wrong.
This is a weekly trend line, by the way.
Man, that just looks destined to fail.
Yeah, it just looks like we're right at resistance, right?
Yep.
And we're rejecting from it. I don't see a lot of bullishness here. I don't see a lot to encourage us. I don't the indices here look bad enough that is why I'm thinking, well, maybe we just won't even get any kind of bounce on Bitcoin here, right? Like, here's a chart that I was looking at today. Actually, I've been looking at it a lot over the weekend. I took out a position like right over here on this, and I thought, ooh, look, we got a break of this downtrend right here. There you go. Got a break of this downtrend right here, and we've got this big low volume node below us. It seemed like a relatively low risk entry position, but the more it's traded sideways, the more it's kind of started to remind me of Bitcoin in November of 2018. It's like we've got this really bullish movement upwards, boom, heavy crash down, bounce onto support, bounce, 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 bounce. And everybody's like, oh, finally, consolidation's over. It's time for us to long. And what fucking happened, right? Well, for those of you who are new, let me go back in time and show you what this reminds me of.
See where it just bucks the trend there.
Yeah. And keep in mind, you probably had your line drawn something like this at the time. You're like, oh no, this is totally the trend, and we've got this break right here, and like we're definitely going up. So see, we even got above the weekly trend line, right?
Oh.
And then collapse. So we could consolidate here, guys, and we could still drop. Don't forget we have this rather recent historical precedent. So I'm definitely being just a little bit more cautious today. I had longs on over the weekend, and I didn't really lose money on them. The market's kind of still in this. It's kind of still in the same place. But like I said, I don't like the fact that we haven't made much headway upwards or downwards. And we don't have to bounce here. We could just have another huge move down. And certainly all the people who bought the dip will be real sad. So I'm being very cautious.
That would be the pain that we're expecting.
Well, I guess we could look at commodities, but I don't think there's much to say. I didn't see any huge movements that we didn't talk about last week. I mean, commodities, they're not as quick as crypto. We don't need to talk about them every day. I'll say this, Brent crude oil is still kind of hanging out inside of the liquidity of the high right here. So I'm not necessarily willing to call it a full breakout. Corn continues to show some weakness, and not Bitcoin, real corn.
Bitcoin.
Natural gas at resistance. Soybeans rejected from weekly close right here. Let's go down to lower time frames.
Did you say soybeans rejected? That's not something common.
I know. Maybe it finally really is time to short soybeans. Maybe. Someone else
I'm
can
never-
take that trade. I learned
Yeah,
my
I'm
lesson.
never gonna take that.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe we should look at the world markets, because if you remember on Friday, everything was so bullish. I was like, oh, maybe things could go for it. Exit signal today. But it's not, we're not even getting a bearish divergence. It could just be a small pullback. It doesn't have to be bearish here on Australia. China is just consolidating sideways right now. This is a long time consolidation area, so we're back up in here doing more consolidation. New all-time high on France today. Interesting. Okay, French economy is not doing too bad today. Rough for Hong Kong. Sideways on the UK. Interesting little sell signal that we're getting here on India. Did this hit our target? See, our target here is roughly 15,850. 15,837. All right, we haven't quite hit our target yet.
Damn.
If anybody is trading the Indian economy based off our TA, I say hold on until we get a firm exit signal or until we hit our target. I feel like probably no one in here is taking trades on the Indian economy based on my TA, but if you did, go ahead and take profits. Congratulations.
Congrats. Thanks
Yeah.
for following the schedule.
Yeah. More sideways for Japan. Feels like we're rejecting from resistance on Netherlands. That's what we've been afraid of right here. And you probably would have longed into this on Friday, or at least I probably would have. It's essentially a break of resistance here. We close above it, and then today just slap. Singapore's not too bad, but at resistance. Taiwan is very at resistance. This kind of looks rough. I would much rather be a seller here than a buyer. And look how buyers get tired out. Okay, sellers super strongly step in this week, right here. Just boom. Click, 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 upwards. And then, maybe not this week. Maybe we still get just a little bit more up. But you get leg 2, right? Definitely leg 2 on this. US 10-year bonds had a really big day on Friday, trading sideways today. 2-year looking a little rough here. Well, as I understand it, the Fed pushes harder on the lower end, I'll come back to that thought. That thought is only half formed. I don't see much yet. We don't have any kind of breakout on bonds 5-year. Interestingly, the Russell 2000 may be having that breakout that we were discussing.
Nice.
So that particular trade thesis is that the Russell 2000 could diverge from the rest of the markets here, as they were previously perhaps a little undervalued because everybody was stuck inside and small businesses were suffering because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I won't feel comfortable until we're over this resistance level, even though, this is more resistance for us, but obviously I think we're going to push up into this liquidity right now. The question is whether or not we reject from up here, not from here. 30-year bond sideways. And a pullback from resistance on US Wall Street 30. I kind of like this for short coming in soon. Yeah, I don't see much bullish around. Did you see anything that was like really credible looking that we looked at?
No, not at all. I mean, you're gonna have a few outliers out there, but like right now, everything pretty much looks the same.
Yeah. No, I think this makes the most sense right here. Oh, and there's a point of control right over there. What do you know?
Calling it, people.
All right, why don't we go ahead and take chart requests? There's not much more to say on the broader world economy for right now, or at least I don't have anything more to say. There's probably more to say, but
Yeah, no worries. Let's dive into that right now, and yeah, let's reveal the first request. Let's put that on screen now. All right, here we go. First request of the day. Let's just make sure we got good alignment on screen here. All right, looking good. First one comes from Alex81SG in the D Live chat. Can you take a look at Fear and MINA, the USDT pairs, looking at an entry price for long-term bags in a bull market? Okay, first one's Fear, F-E-A-R.
bro, this is not enough data.
This is like an hour's worth.
I think it's a couple days worth, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, sorry. There is nothing I can do for you for Fear. There's no tool I can do to find a bottom for you. You'll just have to wait.
The fear.
But we can check out MINA. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't have anything to tell you. There's just not enough data. I would look near the lows and buy near the lows. If you get a bounce, you could be happy, and then if it closes below the lows, get out. That's what you can hope for. I have no idea where a good buy point is going to be for the rest of the bull market. I don't even know what the major coins that actually have historical data are going to do. So I definitely want to know what the fuck these things are going to do. Can't help you, buddy.
All right, well, there's Fear and MINA for our boy Alex81SG. Let's have a look who is next. Give me 1 second to put this next one up on the request line. We're going to get right into the next request here. Go. All right, next one up is LAZR, L-A-Z-R. I think it's a traditional stock item. That's the one. I think someone in the live chat mentioned this is related to one of the suppliers for Tesla. I believe they're automobiles, so there's that. Keep that in mind, guys.
I think it's probably worth taking back towards the highs from here. Seem to have a break of the downtrend. Yeah, even on the monthly, I think there's a little bit of strength here. We can at least make it back towards $30, $35. So I think there's definitely some legs to the upside, at least a little bit here. Okay.
All right, heading into the next request. I do see all your requests piling in now, guys. Stand by. I'm logging them all, but in the meantime, let's introduce the next request, and it's going to be a question from Blackbird987. He says, real question. If you could sell your Bitcoin right now for $100,000, but you wouldn't be able to buy back in over the next 3 years, would you do it?
Nope.
Yeah, I just buy an alt.
There you go.
Wow.
He'll take his...
Yeah.
There you go.
You're cheating.
Blackbird87. Looks like Alex just stumped you. But what I sell right now...
He can't... That's cheating!
You know, this assumes that, you know, the Bitcoin works in some kind of predictable cycle. If I sell 100K now, would I be able to catch the right at the tail end?
That's true. Bitcoin works in mysterious ways.
Would I be able to buy back in at a much, much lower price just in time to board the train? Would that be something I'm willing to risk? It's tempting. 100K Bitcoin sold now. I'm tempted. Let us know what you guys think in the live chat. Would you sell your Bitcoin for $100,000 today if that meant you couldn't buy back for at least 3 years? Interesting timing. Tough call. Not sure if 100K would do it. Maybe 250K. You'd probably get me to do it. All right. Let's have a look at the next request. It's any word on DLive writes, can we look at Solana, DOT, and Monero? Yeah, let's take those one at a time. Solana first.
Solana, all right.
Yep.
Interestingly, Solana is one of those that actually made it above the resistance level that we've been eyeing. Most coins, they barely reached it, or they brushed it. A couple didn't even reach as high. I would be selling into this area. We appear to have moved up here and pegged this point of control. Let's see if we can. There we go. Yeah, look at that. We reach up, we touch it, sell. I'd be taking profit here. Yeah, look at that. Definitely have a break of trend on lower time frames. I get out. We could still move up and trade into this area a little bit more. Maybe we can even push up towards $45. But hopefully you guys have seen when we break the uptrend, we can still have a little bit more upside, but then it crumbles. And we saw that, if you guys will recall, Bitcoin on the weekly. Here we go. Where we break this uptrend over here, when we still make this new high right here, and even a lower high before we collapse. So we're not talking an instantaneous thing here, just because we broken this trend on Sol. But hey, it was very strong, stronger than the rest of the market. But the rest of the market looks like crap right now. So maybe a good time for taking profits. What's next?
All right, that was Solana for any word. Dot's next on the request line.
Four-hour would certainly have us selling right here.
Might have to exit Dot.
And nothing for us to do on the daily. For now, I would be looking to try and pick it back up near 16 or 17 bucks. Man. I almost want to say, this point of control down here near $10. This isn't even a point of control, really. This is just an order block, but...
Doge is the gateway drug. We're gonna get that on a shirt for sure.
It's crazy to me that we have not really shaken off more shorters here yet. I would still love to see us come up here and peg this area before we move down, but I'm prepared for that not happening.
Yeah, I totally get why you're feeling that way, because I feel like I'm the exact same. It just doesn't feel like it just is gonna fall from here. I'm short, net short on the market anyways, but it does feel like we need to shake some shorters out, right?
Yeah. So maybe we'll come down here, peg the lows, shake off people who bought the dip, but then we just come right back up to this area. We return to the mean, and then everybody who's shorted also gets trapped and then fucked. Maybe.
That's just the way she goes, boys.
Maybe.
It's hard to know right now, but yeah, I'm with you totally.
All this sideways it's really difficult to make heads or tails of what's going on. What's next?
Finally, XMR Monero.
Looks exactly the same. This chart is like almost no difference. I don't think it looks that strong. I'd look for a retest of like $200.
All right. Danger, danger, danger. Let's, if that concludes your thoughts on XMR, we'll get right into the next one. All right. Let's have a look. I got 2 requests here for ICP. Let me separate the 2 to see what we're dealing with here. And let me just quickly adjust this, put them both on screen. All right, perfect. First one's from Toes in the Sand. He says, ICP, I've been accumulating for the last 2 weeks, averaging in around $110. Feeling like I might have to hodl long term at this point. And Drip763 on Twitch writes, hey, do you think ICP is going to swing back up? All right.
I don't think so for right now. I think we might test into the bottom of this, into the bottom of the wick right here. I dumped mine yesterday when we closed below $1.05 or $105, excuse me. So I mentioned a couple times that while this is a pretty good place to enter, if we broke these lows, then I would just get out for now. So I think we could retest down near this is log. So let's look at this as we could come down and we could retest $90 even into the, hold on, let me show you Coinbase. There you go. Even down into the 80s, as you can see. So just hang out in here, trade sideways just a little bit, or maybe we could make new lows. That would suck, but either way, below 105, I'm out for right now. And then maybe if we see some bottoming behavior, hop back in. But especially with the market the way it is, it's not worth the risk. And you might have bought a lot around $110, but you should probably have a point at which you're willing to sell. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. What if this goes all the way down to $25 or something?
What if the world crumbles?
That would really suck. So I'm just cautioning you. Make sure you've got a point where you're willing to sell it, because I sold mine when we closed below $105. I didn't want to take the loss, but it's better than taking a bigger one.
Sometimes you gotta suck.
What's next?
All right, there was your look at ICP for our homies in the live chat. Hope that covers your request. Gives you the insight you need to decide what to do next with your ICP position. That's done and in the bag. Let's get into this next request. Just a little heads up, guys. We are going to be distributing lemons in about 15 minutes. So if you're on DLive, deposit your lemons. I will be making a pretty generous giveaway today. In the meantime, let's get into this next request. Comes from Crypto Caveman. Can we look at THETA and TFUEL, please? The 2 thetas. Let's do it.
Maybe this is a breakout. Well, I admit I'm not sure how to handle this with the raid. The rest of the market looks. If we can close and stay above, what is this fucking thing? If we can close and stay above 50 cents, then I think it's worth getting long on TFUEL. Yeah. If we stay closed above 50 cents, then I think we could keep going. I'd be cautious here because we're at resistance and the rest of the market looks like shit. But TFUEL has diverged, so it could keep going. Yeah, it doesn't have to follow the rest of the market.
All right. Are
you shitting me?
What's up? Oh, damn.
Yeah, we got kicked out of our THETA long last night on an early exit signal. Look at that. Oh well, that's poker.
Oof.
Well, for THETA, I probably wouldn't do much with it here. We're still at resistance in my eyes. You could count it as a continuation long signal, but I don't really like how that makes me feel right here, so I would probably not take it. $12-hour looks strong. You can see more follow through on it. I just think ultimately THETA doesn't look appreciably different from all the other alts that, you know, have had a really good run and then had a big drop and are now trading at resistance, right? I mean, it looks a little different, but not very different. And there's a lot more resistance overhead than there was for TFUEL. Is there a trend line over here? Yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say.
All right, let's get right into the next one. Before I do, though, there's a user here on Twitch who asked, let me see who it is. Twitch user GDNL Lemons question mark. Yes, Lemons, the native cryptocurrency of the streaming platform DLive. That's right, we're streaming to DLive. If you're on Twitch, you're probably not aware of this. Probably doesn't apply to you. But if you are on DLive, you do get a bit of a reward token. The Lemons is what they're called. And yeah, we're going to be giving those out in just under 15 minutes. So DLive users, get your lemon baskets ready. We're going to be dispersing those in just a few minutes. In the meantime, we are going to get into the next request, and it's SFP for ETH1. ETH1, SFP, USDT, Binance, please.
Doesn't really look appreciably different from anything else. I do not have any special insight into this. Yeah, at this point, without a little bit more bullishness, I think we should be expecting a retest of the lows with everything else. What's next?
All right, there's your look at SFP. Here we go into this one from Ali Samil on YouTube. Hi guys, can you take a look at BNB, Litecoin, Doge? Okay, BNB.
BNB.
Well, this would tell us we're right at resistance, trading inside of it. We've got exit signals here. I wouldn't do anything with BNB.
All right, how about your thoughts on Litecoin in that case?
Okay, well, I've got Doge up, so really quickly, Doge looks like a continuation short signal here.
They're really obeying the hold there.
Trading right at resistance here. It's here. Probably just take it back towards the lows. So Litecoin.
Finally, Litecoin, yes.
Well, I'm still surprised that we're not testing up here, but like everything else, man, if Bitcoin breaks down, everything's going to break down with it. So either Litecoin's going to pump with the rest of the market up towards resistance, or it's going to crash with the rest of the market down towards $100. So keep your eyes on Bitcoin, man. What's next?
All right, there's the 3-packer request knocked out for Ali in the YouTube chat. Thank you for that. Dear new user on Twitch, RX Mongo, asking, how do I make a request? Yeah, you just posted here in the live chat. I see that you're requesting 1 inch. Stand by, Mr. Mongo. We're going to add your request to the list. In the meantime, we're going to dive right into the next batch of requests. All right, Ali, since we just did 3 for you, I'm going to drag your request up, and if we have time, we'll do these other 3. But in the meantime, we got to let a few other people through, and so this next one is for Obeam. Obeam on DLive writes, woo, please. I guess this is the Willy Woo token.
Okay.
Woo. You are
looks like everything else, buddy. Out of my way. Yeah, I would be selling here at near $1 and looking to, gosh, I don't even know where you'd want to buy back in here. Maybe all the way back near like 6 cents, 10 cents. Your best case scenario would be up here near 20 cents. What's next?
All right, shout outs to Willy Woo and his Woo token. Best of luck in your Willy Woo adventures, Mr. Obean on DLive. In the meantime, let's get into this one from Intense Webs on Twitch. They write, do you have any thoughts on the latest Wall Street Bets picks and craze? CLINE and CLOV. Okay, I've never heard of these. Are these officially the new picks for Wall Street Bets aficionados? One is CLINE, C-L-I-N-E. CLINE Scientific, I guess that's it. We're pumping this one, are we, boys?
Looks like she had a nice base.
There's some nice volume behind it, but I can only assume that they're fundamental picks. So I don't know. There's nothing special about the chart itself that makes me think, oh, I want to get in this, except that there's a lot of volume. But we already know there's a lot of volume because Wall Street Bets has been like pushing it. But that's not TA. That's just like, oh, there's some people that, yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't really have much to say about it. I like that we've come up off of the bottom here and that we've made new highs, but there's no reason we have to keep going.
All right. Well, there's your look at CLINE. Let's look at this other Wall Street Bets pick. It's called CLOV. C-L-O-V. The Wall Street's Bets magic working its way in now.
Yeah, this is too new. I don't really have much to say about this. Is there maybe more data somewhere else?
Really? A little bit more.
This must be a different CLOV. No, this, yeah, okay. I don't have anything to say about it. There's nothing like especially technically impressive about them. If people say that there's good fundamental reasons why you should take the trade, like, oh, there's a lot of shorts or fucking whatever, or like, oh, they've got, big things coming out in the future. That's all great, but I can't see that here for right now. So I'm sorry. What's next?
All right, a lot of Twitch users piling in today. Appreciate all the new faces over in the Twitch chat. Thank you for a little bit of insight. I don't really cruise Wall Street bets too much, but Mr. Intense Webs, I do appreciate you bringing these two Wall Street picks to our attention.
CLOV probably has legs here, but that's just, I don't have any TA that says that. I just think the chart kind of looks good to me, but there's nothing I can point to and be blah 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 this thing. There's a bullish divergence, and that's about it. There's not enough data.
Indeed. In the meantime, let's get into the next request. How are we doing on time? 4 minutes to go till we open the chest. Luckily, your boy Jack is in charge of the chest this week.
Yeah.
That's right. No messing about. Lemons are coming your way shortly. In the meantime, Rolo Maximus on D-Live writes, hey, could you take a look at EOS and BNB? Pretty sure we looked at BNB already. EOS it is.
EOS doesn't look any different from any of the other things.
You're currently in an EOS.
As a matter of fact, I think EOS looks slightly worse right here. So we're probably likely to retest the lows near $4.
You're in a EOS short currently, aren't you?
No, I think we got kicked out of it. Let me take a look. Are we still in it? No, we are still in it. Okay.
That's good.
It all blends together, guys. We took a continuation short right here. Sad to do it, but the chart is what it is. At this point, if we broke below $5, I'd be looking towards $3.50. What's next?
We're going to get into the next one very shortly. GDNL on Twitch. I do see your question. In fact, you're next. So I was going to tell you to stand by. I have your request waiting, but you're actually the next one up, so no need to wait any further. Let me just drag this up a little bit. GDNL writes, could you guys offer me some advice on someone who clearly went in over their head on Bitcoin using way too much leverage? He writes further, he says my long entry was 39,000 and my short entry of equal size was 35.8. The thing is, if I close my short, Bitcoin only has to drop $500 for me to get liquidated. How do I get out of this situation? The actual positions and portfolio size you can see on my channel. All right, so this is kind of a big one.
You need to deleverage.
You could close your position and that would get you out of it. I mean, if a $500 drop is going to fuck you here, I just can't promise you that Bitcoin is not going to drop $500. So you're essentially asking me, hey Alex, do you think that Bitcoin is what direction do you think Bitcoin is going to go $500 in the next however long? I don't know, man.
That's too tight.
I'm sorry, but sometimes the solution to getting out of a leverage position is to close it at a very heavy loss and then go cry yourself to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
that's kind of what the rest of us here have had to do several times. That's what I've had to do. There's no good way to get out of it, man.
You're gonna hate the answer. The answer is,
and the worst part is, there's a chance that we could bounce from this area, but there's a $500 drop that we could make before we bounce. So
Mm-hmm.
You can pray or you can take your loss right now, but those are basically your two options, the way I see it. Jason?
Well, that's exactly it. And you've gotten yourself into this position because you're not respecting your capital management. If price is ever within $500, if we're talking about Bitcoin, within your liquidation, you're pinned. You've pinned yourself. That's your fault. You just need to take that L on the forehead and kind of just get rid of it. Because
it sounds like you long the top and short at the bottom. From what I'm hearing, you got a long up here in 39,000. You have a short from 35,000.
You're losing money both ways, bud.
Yes, exactly. He's got his long up there at 39. He's got a short here
Well,
at 35.
Presumably, he's asking for advice because he knows he fucked up. So I don't want to make it into a lecture. But what I'm pointing at is that you've placed yourself in a no-win situation. So unfortunately, without luck, you're not going to win. There's a chance that you could drop it right now, and we won't drop another $500. I mean, I don't know. It seems unlikely. It certainly seems like we're going down. But hey, stranger things have happened. But most likely, at this point, you should save what little money you can.
Indeed, GDNL. He says if I close my short, it has to drop $500. I basically asking, should I tank to $2,000 loss in order to save $600 short? Again, because you're positioned in both directions. You
mean,
you're in the pickle, bro.
Yes, you should drop your long. It's like, what time frame were you trading on, etc. But I know you don't know the answer to any of those questions. So, I think you should probably not be long for right now.
All right.
Obviously, we're bearish. So if I had my druthers, I guess don't be long. But
my final bit of advice for GDNL: please do join the Discord. Go to discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Maybe start chatting with us or some of the members in there. It might help provide some additional direction. But I actually got to move into the next request. But before I do, guys, sorry, I neglected opening the chest on time. So let's do that now, guys. I'm going to give everybody, let's call it, so nobody gets caught blindsided by this. So let's call 2 more minutes. So it's currently 2:47 where I am, 2:49. 2 minutes from now, we will open the chest. But I'm going to prepare to begin opening it now. Let's drop this many lemons in here. Then again, Ben gave me the keys. I can drop as many lemons as I want in here, but maybe I shouldn't. All right, well, I'm not going to go too nuts, but I'm going to drop a generous amount in today's chest.
Finally, our master plan is complete. We have control of the lemons.
We finally got it.
We're out. We have our millions of dollars. We just Ocean's 11 this shit.
Indeed.
The old long con.
All right, stand by for your lemons, guys. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce the next request. We have RLC for Mike Maker. Let's look at RLC.
Do we look at
RLC? You say RLC?
RLC, iExec.
RLC. I know, guys. I looked at RLC. It's like the first I looked at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, it was. I'd say you did. I looked at it.
All right, so you did look at RLC. I can just go ahead right and get into the next one if you like. It's Dodo. Dodo for Alex 1233. What's this bird up to?
Blue-footed booby. That's going to be the next one.
It looks like shit.
45 seconds for the chest.
Yeah, it doesn't look any different from anything else. It looks very weak right here on lower time frames. Probably gonna retest the lows. What's next?
All right, how we doing on time? 30 seconds to go for the chest. I'm going to introduce the next one. It's Doge. Producer Mikey on Twitch requesting Dogecoin. All right.
You did it. What's next?
We already looked at Doge, actually, so do check the timestamps. The replay will feature timestamps, easily be able to reference the tokens we already looked at. Chest is going to open in 10 seconds. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce the next request. It's UEC for Adam in the YouTube chat. UEC, I think it's uranium or uranium corp of some kind. UEC, but here you go, guys. I'm opening the chest. Nowsies. Here we go. Distributing 262 lemons in the chest. Collect, collect, collect. This is your chance.
I'm gonna win today.
I just realized I disqualified myself 18 seconds to go for the chest opening. Get your claims in, but I disqualified myself because I'm not logged in. I'm logged in as CC, not my Crypto Jack profile. So guys, enjoy. More lemons coming your way today. Yes, the lemon chest is at near daily capacity. Boom. Big giveaway. Let me see if I can put this on screen really quick, and I'll let Alex continue his analysis. Here we go. Here's today's big winners. We have David Rice with 145 lemons. Shout outs to David Rice. Crypto Bull with 83 lemons. Electric with 60. In My Mind MF with 48 lemons. And Crypto Husau with 40 lemons. Congrats, guys. Big lemon giveaway today, courtesy of your boy Jack. Yes, I got the keys to the lemon chest. It's going to be a permanent lemon party here at CC with all the lemons we're giving away. All right, enough of that long talk. Let's get back into this look at uranium.
I like this for like a long-term trade. I see that there's been a very long-term consolidation here around $1, and I know that there's been some very big moves in the uranium industry, including Bill Gates, and I can't remember what other bill are taking very heavy positions in uranium, especially as we have this big clean energy push and people are trying to get away from fossil fuels. It makes sense as a play. I think in a macro sense, but as far as the chart, I don't really see a good place for us to be entering in this spot. Arguably, we're breaking out of a symmetrical triangle here, and if so, then we could maybe take this all the way up to $4. But it's a little hard to tell right now. I probably wouldn't take a position moving right into earnings. Yeah, I guess the 3-day doesn't look that bad here. Tell you what, if we can close above $3.50 on the 3-day, then it could be worth a long from there. But I would be hoping for a pullback, maybe get a better price than what you got right now. Probably the best way to play it. What's next?
All right, getting into the next one. Before I do, going to read a couple comments. Let's see here. Mr. Ether says you should have never put yourself in that position. This is referring to the gentleman GDNL. Crypto Bull says number one rule: capital preservation. You will have losses, but it's best to minimize them with stop losses. You could use funds elsewhere. And Moblin writes, "Give me 42K or give me death." Yes. Give the man the 42K pump, because we are desperately in need of it, especially that GDNL guy. A lot of people thanking us for the lemons that we gave away. Somebody missed the giveaway. Sorry, Stuwak. He says he missed it. I was on the phone. Hit me up tomorrow. I will be sure to make it another jam-packed lemon giveaway day. In the meantime, let's get into the next request. So we looked at this uranium request. We have just a couple requests remaining on the board and just a few minutes left in the show. In My Mind MF wants to look at ALGO.
Looks like everything else. Exit signal, hanging on at resistance. Don't touch it. What's next?
All right, stay away on ALGO. What else do we have here? ENJ for Mr. Ether asking, how's ENJ USD looking these days?
Exit signal. It already hit our resistance level that we would have been looking at. I'd say probably more downside. I'd be looking towards 75 cents to pick it back up. Yeah, I don't like this buy level anymore. Now that we've just like hung around in here. So if we break down lower, I would actually like to be a buyer down here at this place, at this rate. I would now move my... Are you gonna... It's fucking... like this area. Okay. What's next?
All right, there is a look at E&J for Mr. Ether. Only a couple requests left now. All right, Ali, I know I said I was going to circle back to this 3-pack, but I want to do a few more for a few new users on Twitch. So hang tight. Maybe we can still knock these out. But in the meantime, let's entertain this next one. It's XVS for Swaggity Olanaise on 69, asking about XVS.
It's the Chart X one. It's Venus, I believe. It looks roughly the same as a lot of other things that we're looking at, and not ready yet. And try and grab it on a retest of the lows of some kind. It'll probably go up with the rest of the market. What's next?
All right, thank you for a brief look at XVS. Let's see what else remains. We have OMI, OMI for producer Mikey on Twitch.
Oh. I guess I will have to use Chartex, okay. Just say no. You can see here on the 3-day, we just there's no sign that it's time to go in yet. I mean, I guess we're starting to break the downtrend, but we can kind of ride that downwards. So I would still be pretty cautious right here. What's next?
All right, OMI in the bag, and now we are drawing to our final series of requests. User by name of Scada on Twitch writes, any thoughts on holding spot right now? But they capitalize spot in a way that makes me think they're referring to a token by the name of spot.
I don't know.
Well, let's see.
Is there a token, or is this just in general holding spot position?
Oh,
No.
Still
All right.
spot moving on my dog.
Well, holding spot, likely not what our analysts will advise.
maybe Spotify.
Yeah, okay.
I like it. This isn't a bad place to be a buyer. This actually makes a lot of sense. Good earnings. All right. I like it. I would try and wait for a break of the downtrend just to make sure, but I really like that we started to break below our support level here and then traded back above it, retested it, and held it. We're most likely going to break up here. And on lower time frames, it looks fairly strong.
All right, RX Bongo, you're right. I did skip your 1-inch request. I apologize, my man. You know, there's a lot of chatter in today's live chat, so sometimes I neglect to log every last one, but reminders are always warmly welcome around here. So let's look at 1-inch if we could before we begin to wrap things up.
On 1-inch, we're for once we're actually rejecting from the resistance level that I have marked out. So yeah, we got an exit signal right here. I would not be doing much with 1-inch at this time. If we break above $4, then maybe there could be a trade on the table all the way back up towards $6. But until then, I'd be looking for a retest of the lows, maybe even back down towards $2.
All right, speculation is rife in the live chat as to what the hell that noise is. Dark Rico says.
No.
Dark Rico says Sounds like Jason has his money printer going in the background, and ETH1 says it's just the sound of the fire from the rocket. Yes, pure fire in the house here. RX Mongo, and somebody referring to the it's the Cummies token firing. Well, that's one way to bring Cummies back into the conversation. God bless you. David Rice, always counted on to troll us pretty good here. All right. If you're and I think another user here, the one asked about Spot. All right. If you're talking about Spotify, that was that. If you're asking about holding Spot Bitcoin, I don't think you're going to get much love for that one. I think our analysts are hedged. I know Jason's hedged. Yeah, we look pretty weak. As much as we're, best case scenario will pop up, but I think we're gonna get at least for the longer haul here in the next few weeks, probably gonna test down more than we are gonna test up. That's my feelings. So not sure if I would advise on holding Spot, but of course this is an investment advice. We're just bullshitting here, people. We're just providing edutainment every day live. Coming to your favorite platforms, YouTube, DLive, and Twitch, because I saw another question asking where else do we stream. Yes, we multi-stream. We're across all your favorite platforms, and we come live every day, 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Our analysts do this for a living. They're full-time traders. They are live and breathe this stuff. This isn't just your average Johnny come lately crypto Twitter pundit. We live it, we breathe it. So this is the home of crypto and crypto TA and so much more. So I see a lot of new users here. Please do follow and subscribe. Rest assured, we've been streaming every day regularly for years and probably years more to come. We're here to, of course, kind of guide you and walk alongside you in your great crypto and trading journey. All right, let me put a couple other elements on screen here. Bada bing. No, not these ones. Not this one. But rather these two items, because you know what it is, guys, we're going to wrap here. I think we got most of the requests done. My apologies to Ali Samil, who also wanted to look at ZIL, Waves, and Solana. Sorry we did Solana already. Sorry we couldn't look at ZIL and Waves. But hey, if you do come back into the live chat tomorrow, same crypto time, same crypto channel, we will definitely pick up your request and give it another shake tomorrow. But hope you did appreciate the request we could do for you, Ali. Let me just quickly check the live chat. Producer Mikey, in Elon we trust. Well, speak for yourself. CryptoBull21 investor app on Roku. I don't think we're streaming on investor app Roku, but I am thinking of bagging up the stream every day and posting it to the iTunes podcasting section, etc. I think it would be a good podcast to distribute every day, especially since we come in super consistently 2 hours a day most days. For a lot of people who want to zone out and just kind of listen to us ramble about price action, market behavior, etc., I do think this would be worthy of a 2-hour post to the iTunes podcast store. Any word asked, could ThetaFuel ever pass Theta itself in price? I don't know. I have to take a deeper dive into both tokens, see how the numbers align, but
probably not.
I don't imagine that would be the case.
30-1 right now. I think probably not.
All right. CryptoBull21. I don't even want a Roku anymore. Okay. And could you guys comment on Ethereum? It seems to have more momentum than Bitcoin. This is coming from a newbie, he says. All right, Angry Penguin X, since you're brand new, please do follow and subscribe. That's probably something better to leave till tomorrow for us to expand on.
We talked about Ethereum at the beginning of the show. It's got a little bit more momentum, but it still looks like crap.
Still looks like crap. A little more momentum indeed. Indeed, we do also have the time-stamped replay, Angry Penguin X. So a little reminder to everyone, check out the replay. Join our Discord channel, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. In there, of course, if you're on DLive, you may not be aware of this, but we're also on YouTube. I do post the replay link in the new content channel on Discord. There you'll get to watch the replay on YouTube along with all those convenient timestamps as well. You can find Alex's thoughts on Ethereum and how it relates to Bitcoin, likely in an early timestamp from the first hour. We will, of course, provide those timestamps shortly after we wrap the show. All right. Also, be sure to check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Do become a premium VIP member of our community. Get access to all our Primo content. And man, we have a lot of it. We have the proprietary indicator suite. We have the Pathways to Profit trading course. We have the signals that we provide. You can get access to our traders' journals, so you can follow along and kind of monitor everything that they do live in the markets. Man, there's just so much to offer, including, of course, the Members Lounge. Get access to the VIP Members Lounge. Join us for, exciting community events, kind of like Saturday and Sunday's movie night. We, of course, watched UFC on Saturday, but then last night, we were watching Floyd versus Mayweather, and what a fight that kind of underwhelmingly was. Yeah, Jason, what did you think in the end?
I think that it was a money grab.
It was Paul versus Mayweather, by the way, not Floyd.
Yeah, Floyd versus Mayweather. It might as well be on fight himself.
Yes.
I don't know. Big nothing burger for me.
It was a little disappointing. I was hoping to see somebody get knocked out. I was hoping for a random Hail Mary that would have led to one of the greatest upsets in sports history, but apparently it didn't happen.
Too much energy at the end of the fight.
Indeed, yeah. They should have lifted, at least Paul should have let it all hang out, not left anything behind. In the end, there you go, guys. It's another day in the life of YouTubing and amateur boxing and, well, now crypto trading. All right, guys. How we doing on time? 3:06, perfectly across the line. 2-hour show in the bag once again. I thank everybody who joined us today. Much love to our regular audience. Hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday, great rest of their week. Get yourself all right. I mean, I see David Rice still trolling us with these very awkward shitcoin picks, but we got to move to wrap, guys. So here we go. Final words to our analysts. We'll catch you on Tuesday.
Just make sure you're trading safely, guys. That's kind of sideways.
Or maybe just don't trade at all.
Yeah, I mean, no trade is still a trading decision.
Stay out of trouble. Don't get wrecked. Peace out, homies. You know where to find us. Catch you tomorrow. Yep.
Goodbye.